I didn't realize how much balance played a role in my journey back to confidence until I started looking at all the little pieces that made up my confidence. Welcome to Turn Writing Fear Around. Simple methods to overcome fear and start writing again. I'm Elise Hittinger, and I'm the host for your journey to courage. I realized that confidence is made up of a bunch of little pieces, especially confidence writing. And one of the pieces that I had been challenged with was balance. I had suffered from migraines, I suffered from vertigo, and I found myself leaning on things. I'd bend over to pick something up, I'd put my hand on a chair or a table. I just noticed that I was feeling unsteady. Well, that translated into writing. I felt unsteady writing. And as soon as my brain says, oh, you're a little bit unsteady, it puts up this big red flag. And that increases our anxiety and takes away our confidence. And sometimes when we start to feel a little bit out of balance, it can be in any area of our life. Balance is so important, and we forget about balance. And I had a group at work that thought, they're going to get Elise. They came in and they did this challenge to stand on one foot with your eyes closed, not touching anything. Well, I'd already been working on my balance for probably a year when they did this. And so, not even thinking about it, I closed my eyes, standing on my right foot, closed my eyes, standing there. And, my leg actually got tired. And it's like, okay, you can stop. So I'm like, well, let me try the other leg. So I switched to my left leg. Same thing. I stood for over 3 minutes, eyes closed, not touching anything on either leg, standing on one leg. And that was when I let my brain go, balance is no longer an issue. I can let that go. And it felt so good. It was one of the pieces of the puzzle of confidence that I'd put into place. And that was balance. So what did I do? The first thing was I started with the balance outside of the saddle. I would stand on one foot while I was doing dishes. I'd stand on the other foot while I was brushing my teeth. I'd stand on one foot while I was folding laundry. I'd stand on the other foot while I was doing any chores. I would stand on one foot or the other foot tacking up the horse, grooming the horse. So I practiced balance. I'd stand with my feet apart and swing back and forth between my feet. The second thing is once I was on, I pretended to be that kid sitting on your parents' shoulders, and how much if you moved, you pulled your parents off balance. And really, I would feel it, and then I'd feel myself coming back into balance on the horse. So it wasn't that I stayed in balance on the horse. It was that I'd get myself off balance and bring myself back into balance. I was practicing balance riding, not staying perfectly imbalanced, but by getting imbalanced and bringing myself back to balance. And that, I can now do a lot of crazy things unbalanced on my horse, but keeping my balance of the horse in check. So I can have my body go off on one side and a leg go off on the other side. So the horse is still balanced, but my center of gravity is still over the horse, but I am way out balanced from my eyes perspective. The third thing is once you start working on your balance, you really can say to your brain, hey, I got this. Balance is not an issue. That puzzle piece is in place. Start talking to your brain and showing it, hey, my balance is getting better, not worse, better. Take that off the equation for your anxiety. Let that be one thing you no longer have to worry about. So the 3 things: work on your balance outside of the saddle. Second thing, practice balance in the saddle. Not staying in balance, but getting imbalanced and coming back to balance. And then the third thing is, once you start working on your balance, start telling your brain, hey, I've got this. This is something you don't need to worry about anymore. Just imagine feeling steady, balanced, feeling that connection to gravity and connection to your horse's balance. It really makes a difference in your riding and your confidence riding, because now you know that when stuff happens, you can stay balanced. You don't have to get out of balance. If you'd like a little help with your balance or anything with a calm ride, I'll put a link in the description to a book, a calm ride strategy call. We have a lot of fun in those calls. I just help you work through what your next step would be. And we can start putting those puzzle pieces in place for you for confidence. See you guys!